trust your crypto assets to centralized exchanges that actively sell your private information and front run your trades? Would you like to buy and sell your assets without any middlemen, intermediaries, or robots? Do you like paying slippage, fees, and having the price go up as bots steal from you on low liquidity decentralized exchanges? The solution is nodemarket.io. Set your guaranteed buy or sell price. No middlemen, no slippage, no bots, ever. Buy or sell 1, 10, or even 10 million tokens, and you never have to worry. OTC trades are between you and the seller or buyer, guaranteed by audited smart contracts and no human middlemen. Nodemarket.io.
Yeah, people are gonna miss that one after Thanksgiving.
That's right.
They're gonna miss it.
But on the other side of it, after a full year, we'll have tons of them.
Well, that's true.
We'll have a whole year of
bring
them
it back. Yeah, that's true.
Neil, you are first. You won the internet, buddy.
I used
Brandon,
to do.
You want to? You said you had a story to tell. Is it?
Oh, I do. This is right. Perfect time. As we
is it okay? Wait, real quick to qualify. Is it a wallet story?
It could be.
Because if it's a wallet story,
let's just say it is. Let's say it is.
All right.
But no, that gives away the ending. No, it's not.
No, because look, no. If it's a wallet story, then we go like this.
How cool that
it
one
better
was.
Be a really good story after that.
I don't know if I can step up to that.
Because you lead in like that, you better have something monstrous.
Well, okay, side story, and then segue. Okay, so side story, because I have like old cars, because I'm not like a real car person, nor do I think like getting new cars is like super like in my like future right now, because you know they're expensive. But like,
no, you got poor people DNA. I get it. Go on.
Yeah. So I have a 2003 Duramax, Chevy Duramax, a diesel, right? So it's like it's an older truck, and this thing is, I mean, it's a great truck. It runs well, but we went to fill up with some diesel one day, and we put like 5 gallons in it just because I knew something was wrong. And by the time we got home, which was like 4 minutes away, we had 1 gallon left. So we burned 4 gallons. We thought we burned, but we didn't burn. It was flowing out of the engine like a waterfall. So I looked down my driveway lane, and there was like a strip this wide of diesel all the way down my lane, right? All the way down my driveway, just like on the ground. And I'm like, oh crap. So then I tried taking this thing over to this place, and they're like, oh yeah, your injectors are bad. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think my flywheel's bad too. Can you give me a price on that? So I take it to this diesel shop, and I'm like, dude, I need you guys to give me a price. And so they got me a price. Any guesses how much it change out injectors, a starter, fuel pump, flywheel?
Good guess. Probably not cheap.
$7,500. These guys call me while I'm sitting there. I'm like, in sitting there in my glory days in Mexico. I'm like, $7,500. I almost threw up in my face. I'm like, there's no way. So I'm like, let me come home. I'm gonna come in the shop and talk with you guys. And then, anyway, I go talk with them, and they walked me through it, and it seemed legit. I called some other shops, and they're actually like $9 grand for it, 10 grand for it. I'm like, oh wow, you guys are actually cheapest. I'm like, whatever, dude. This is absolutely nuts. I'm gonna throw up. $7,500. There's no way. So I'm like chit-chatting back and forth with them. Like,
however, let me guess. Let me see.
No, don't ruin this for me. Do not ruin this for me, because this is how the world needs to start transforming. This is it.
Center stage.
So I say, I think you know what. Okay, you already figured it out. So I say to the guy, I say, you know what, $7,500 cash, whatever, that's fine. Will you, by chance, accept crypto in any form? And he said, well, let me see if I can sign into my Coinbase account. I'm in. Sure enough, he said, no problem. He's going to take Bitcoin to pay for this thing. So I'm like, that is awesome. So I'm doing full-on Web 2 transactions in Bitcoin now. And that's actually a decent size one. I'm like, dude, that is actually dope. So, and this actually worked out even better because he's not done with the truck yet. But in order to prepare for it, of course, I bought Bitcoin last week. And I've gone like up like another like $800 in value on that $7,500 purchase of Bitcoin. So now I'm like into it even better. But I have the Bitcoin sitting there ready to transfer to this guy when he's done with my truck. So he's going to take Bitcoin as payment, which is absolutely dope, I think. So big moves for the world today. Thoughts?
Well, did you get a discount because you're paying him in Bitcoin?
No, I should have though, because
that's the whole point, dude. That's the whole point is that you get a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Because
he's taking Bitcoin.
Yeah, but he's not going to have to tell the man. So I don't know. I think
you and I both know that, but I think that's the perk for him taking the Bitcoin. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you about my continual escapades with the house. So this has nothing to do with the house, but if you're using crypto to pay for something big, apparently if it's a house, and I don't mean big like expensive, I just mean over like a small purchase. They have to count the lenders in order to count your crypto as money has to be in stablecoin and held for 30 days in stablecoin. So like they said, if you have stablecoin at Coinbase and it's been there for 30 days, that's acceptable.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you couldn't just like immediately transfer money. You couldn't, at least right now. Now, once you own it, you can just use money to pay it off. But in order to do the down payment, they need to see it sitting there for 30 days. And some of the lenders say 60 days.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're doing it though. Like that's a step in the right direction, right? I didn't think they would be even considering it.
Yeah, I mean, I still have to swap it back to US dollars, just go from USDC. But the thing that's cool is I'm earning interest until the moment that I have to cut that check for the down payment. So I'm probably going to earn like another month of interest on it, on my down payment, then make my down payment.
Did you see Thor changes paying 25% on USDC, USDT this last week?
For what, Thor USDT or USDC? Because that's some
no, it's
over there.
No, it's the regular stuff, Thor. And I'm like, there's no way. How are they paying that? And I guess they.
Well, no, but Thor is. They're paying for on their own network though, on their own protocol.
Yeah, so you would have to bridge it. Yeah, you would have to bridge it over to their USDC.
Thor is dangerous, man. I remember them getting nuked over and over.
If it gets stuck on their network, it's basically worth.
I used to think Thor was cool, the movie. I never thought Thor the token was cool.
Right.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do our AI news. Let's get behind the wall. And today I thought what might be fun is I was going to go through my portfolio and give people my actual this second percentages of my personal portfolio.
Oh, dang.
Of every asset that I own, even the shitty ones. Because a lot of them that you thought were good in the past have become dog shit. So I still,
that's also good to remember though, because sometimes, things change.
Yeah, things change, bro.
One day,
the weather changes.
Bad the next.
So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna look at the AI news, which there is some cool AI news. Well, there's a lot of AI news. Matter of fact, it's the most newsy weekend you could ever have, and I've got a little bit of inside dirt on it, so we'll talk about it. But basically, yeah, I mean, you guys know, like. Other than the play, other than the obvious Mrs. Lincoln, what did you think of the play, right? Like, it's that kind of weekend. So, without further ado. So, okay, I don't know, have you been following this, or rather, how closely have you been following this, Brandon?
Yeah, that's a better question. Who hasn't been following it and seeing all this shenanigans go on? This is hilarious. This is like a whole Netflix documentary like over the last 3 days, right? 4 days, 5 days.
Do you know what basically went down behind the scenes to make this all happen?
I've seen like some stories that aren't true, but I don't know what the true story is. I've seen a lot of shenanigans.
I'll tell you what the real story is after we talk about what the news is. I mean, it's the real story as far as the only reputable news source that I think knew exactly what happened. And then anyway, okay, so OpenAI, obviously on Friday, they nuked Sam Altman. They hired Emmett Shear. There's an interim CEO, and there was a big shakeup. And also, yeah, they signed they signed this big thing, 500 employees, like, we're out of here. So there was a lot that was on the line. So, okay, basically, OpenAI's board of directors abruptly fired Sam Altman on Friday. He found out about 10 minutes before the call where he was going to get fired by Ilya Sutskever. And Ilya, probably not pronouncing that right. Well, Ilya works, Sutskever works, he's their chief scientist. He works for Sam. Sam had reduced some of his responsibilities because Ilya is a virtue signaling. He's kind of a dick. I mean, I've not had anything against him other than I just know at a party he's someone I would throw my drink at and beat him up. He's one of those kind of nasally, assholey, kind of work behind the scenes, sideline troublemaker. I guess I really don't like him. I actually don't have anything good to say about him. I've always been I've been impressed by his intellect, not impressed by his signally kind of do-goody bullshit. Of course, he'll take that paycheck, right? Like, he'll let this company make him rich. But once he's rich, it turns out that he's kind of dickish. Anyway, seems like he engineered this whole coup. But so what happens is Sam gets on a call, everything's going great, and about 10 minutes before this big call, Ilya says, "Oh, by the way, you're fired." He said, "What? What are you talking about?" So all this stuff has gone down. So here's the timeline. Altman was unexpectedly ousted on Friday, with the board originally citing communication issues. He's not disclosing, he's not being forthright. He confirmed the news in a tweet. Co-founder Greg Brockman resigned pretty much right after that and posted a timeline of events dealing with the blindside move from OpenAI. As more details emerged, it looks like all of this was orchestrated by chief scientist Ilya Sutskever, with a bunch of increasing tensions over the speed of development. Ilya's like, he's going too far. He's going too fast. I'm like, well, wait, you've been going 9 months. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so he said, they're not listening to me. And they reduced his responsibilities because he wasn't doing anything. Anyway, Saturday news broke out that OpenAI staff set an ultimatum for the board to resign, meaning not like one or two of you. Basically, the thing is, like, they're saying all of you have to go. All of you. Now, let me also I wonder if it's in this timeline. Well, let me tell you what else was on the line. There was a bunch of private money that was about to buy out a bunch of early employees, part of their shares. Billions, like billions. It was that they froze the wire on the eve. If they had waited 3 days, these guys would have invested. I mean, they would have bought these shares, all of these employees. So remember, they may be, we love Sam, but there may be a little bit of like, we wanted to get this check, bro. It's Christmas time. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Money moves mountains, right? So the company that was going to come in and buy all this equity, private equity from all these investors, they stopped. They're like, we're not sending this money until we feel like, because they basically rewrote down the company. They're like, without Sam and without Greg Brockman, and also there was a bunch of other people, like high-ranking people had left within like 2 or 3 hours of Sam getting deuced, like 5 or 6. Oh, the head of risk management, he deuced out. Like, a lot of people booked it. So these guys are like, well, we're not cutting you a check. So,
yeah, the whole
the ultimatum for the board popped on Saturday, right? And it basically was like this. All these employees were like, Altman and Brockman come back, the entire board steps down, or we will also quit and go wherever Sam goes. The deadline passed, no official news. Though Altman tweeted, "I love the OpenAI team so much," which was then quote tweeted by hundreds of staff members with a little heart emoji. then everybody starts speculating. Okay, wait, what's going on? With a bunch of people were like, maybe they've achieved AGI. Altman said a day before his firing that there had been a massive discovery in the last 2 weeks. What does that mean? I don't know. Does that mean they have done something magical? Maybe. Does that mean he's really a robot? Possibly. Or does it just mean they're about to get $13 billion and everybody else is going to like cash out? They're going to have a big fat ass AI Christmas. I don't know. Anyway, something massive was discovered just 2 weeks ago. All right. Altman then posted a photo of himself at the OpenAI HQ, their headquarters, Sunday afternoon. So now he's back in the building, right? With reports indicating that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella was leading discussions, negotiations, whatever. Okay, now they're back. So then the board rejected negotiations and hired Emmett Shear. Now, this is yesterday. Former CEO of Twitch, which Twitch was it's just a total dumpster fire shit show.
Well,
anyway,
it still is. Nothing's changed. Like useless.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
So he's the new interim CEO of OpenAI. I mean, he runs a weird platform where like chicks stream gaming. So clearly he understands how to run OpenAI. I mean, this is somebody that can definitely fit right in Sam's shoes, right? So following the late Sunday night news, now there's a bunch more chaos and dozens of OpenAI staffers, like permanent staffers, quit. And now so there's more hemorrhaging. Then in another twist to the story, Satya announced that Sam and Greg are joining Microsoft to create a new advanced AI research team. What the shit? So, dude, this is going to be an awesome movie, man. It's going to be great. We are going to have so much fun. This thing.
How does he not have any sort of non-compete to like move over to Microsoft that quickly though?
Dude, he co-founded the company. He's a co-founder. He probably wrote all that shit.
Sure.
So what happens is the woke mafia led by Ilya Steskover, he got in there and he's like, I'll show you. And he got a couple of board members there. I read some articles about exactly which board members he approached and how he kind of finessed them and like, don't you see what they're doing is wrong? Don't get behind them. Don't let them like, okay, bro. Anyway, so I don't know what happens next. It's going to be pretty awesome, but this whole drama is like unfolding in real time. Sam goes, Greg goes, a bunch of high-end guys go, another group of 12 guys go, 500 people say I'm out, and I mean guys to mean guys, girls, and pronouns. So this could have gone from, remember they had their developer day just a few weeks ago, which was awesome, and they announced all this stuff, and now they may have to write this whole goddamn thing down, like write it down. I mean, without Sam, without Greg, and without like the head of risk and all this kind of stuff, I don't know what OpenAI has left. Like, well, Sam and that group, that core group, that is OpenAI.
It is. And now I feel like OpenAI was like the leader, right? So they're like the number one in the industry, right? And now with that whole thing blowing up, did you see you saw all the AI tokens like pump over this last weekend? I think it's because now they have less of a competing giant in the space and they all have more of an equal share competition level.
Well,
so they're all doing a little bit better.
I mean, if Sam, Greg, and let's say 100 of those 500 people go to this new unit at Microsoft, I don't know who competes with that. Not Google. Certainly not Google.
Certainly. Well, now Google better start poaching.
Now maybe
Google's pay is today.
Maybe this is good for Elon because, he was having trouble recruiting. He was like, I'm going to get all these guys. And like, no one wants to go work for him. Not no one, but not too many. So maybe this shakes it up a little bit and XAI grabs some of these employees as part of the exodus. But man, oh man. And none of them are coming to SingularityNet. Let's be honest. Sam doesn't know. Let's be honest, Sam doesn't know what SingularityNet is, right? Like, He doesn't. Either does Greg. It's a non-issue. In the same way, like, you know, Cardano, Charles Hoskinson put out this like tweet like, "Hey Sam, would you like to build some decentralized large language model?" To which Sam did not reply, because Charles is a cool guy in crypto circles, but in the greater scheme of things, he's a non-issue. Like, no one knows who he is. I mean, again, that's why there's all this opportunity here, but no one in the real world knows who Charles Hoskinson is. So that was kind of silly, right? He probably got laughed at even more than when he offered the olive branch to Algorand that really should have taken it. So anyway, and then Ben had responded, and Sam knows who Ben is. Everybody in AI probably knows who Ben is, but I think that when Ben went the crypto direction, I don't know how serious they take. I just don't know if decentralized means anything to a lot of these AI, you know, this first tier business AI group. I just don't think they give a shit about decentralized anything. It's just a race to be first place. But I guess, you know, the questions you would ask about all this, like to just reduce all of it, is what did the Open AI board see that was so egregious that they could win enough support to immediately nuke Sam, like that quickly? Like, you don't give him a warning, a slap on the wrist. Like, people were like hailing him as like the great, like a Roman emperor just a few weeks ago, when he dropped all these new things and said, "Hey, listen, we're going to be doing a deep investment with NVIDIA and a bunch of new compute resources and all this kind of stuff." Like, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what's left. I don't know if the Twitch style of leadership is through Emmett Shear is going to be great for Open AI. And what are they going to do? Fire Shear 3 days later and bring back Sam? That's not going to happen. I mean, I can't imagine it would happen. So then what is Open AI worth?
I mean, that's what who was saying that Armstrong said. OpenAI just destroyed basically $71 billion in value over the last weekend or the last 2 days.
Oh God, can you imagine? And the only way this works for Microsoft is they're probably like, shit, that investment's completely waxed. Let's bring the whole group over here. Next best thing. Anyway,
really?
Meta, speaking of Meta disbanded its responsible AI team, moving members to other AI products and infrastructure. So they're like, responsible AI? What? This is just getting in the way of AGI. Anyway, they said it remains committed to developing AI responsibly and safely, but the dedication to that specific entity inside Meta has been dissolved. Most responsible AI members will join Meta's generative AI production team, with others moving to work in the AI on AI infrastructure for Meta. The responsible AI team had already seen shakeups during the company's restructuring and many layoffs. Interesting. So if there was ever a weekend to bury some negative AI news, like bury the lead, this was the one. Like, no one gives a shit that Meta just nuked their whole like safety and compliance team. And they're like, safety? What do you mean safety? Get rid of those seatbelts. We need to go fast. We need more engine. That's just taking up the space of more engine. Whoo. So I don't know. Crazy weekend, right? I don't know why. I don't know why AI tokens responded the way they did, which is cool. But yeah, to me, it kind of goes the other way. I mean, I guess you would go, oh, maybe there's a greater chance of like some of these dudes coming and working on decentralized projects and all that. I don't think that's the case. There you go. Altman is also raising money for an AI chip venture. So that's kind of interesting. And I hope he gets the money. You know why I hope he gets the money? Because then true AGI looks that much more sexy.
Yeah.
See, that's where Ben can really get these guys. Ben and the team at Dr. Robert Werko and that team over at True AGI, if they can really nail a line, like a cascade of really good patents and trademarks and just intellectual property in and around that Metagraph pattern matching chip and like an AI processing unit in that deal with Simuli and all that, if they can lock in a lot of that tech and a lot of that intellectual property, a lot of these other chip designs are going to need part of that or some of that at some point. And it also just makes the company that much more valuable. If he raises, let's say 10, 12, 14 billion, whatever he's going to raise, which is going to be a lot, probably a couple $1 billion for chips, actual chips, that immediately validates what True AGI is doing. And if Ben and that team are doing it in a better way, awesome. So there we go. All right. Probably time for us to get behind the wall. Because
real talk.
Real talk, bro. We got to talk markets. We got to look at, but you know what? For those of you that came and just hung out with us that aren't digital investor clients, I just thank you. Well done. Give you a little.
Thank you.
But what?
Yeah. Thank you. See ya.
But now we got to let you go.
We're going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now.